Right now at 10, Wisconsin has a new governor. A recap of today's inauguration, plus how Tony Evers is celebrating tonight in Madison.
Drop that gun!
And a look at what officers faced as they confronted an active shooting situation last year at a Middleton software company.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Wisconsin officially has a new governor, and a new year of lawmaking is underway at the state capitol.
Tony Evers is now the first Democrat to represent the state in 8 years, taking the oath as the 46th governor of Wisconsin in front of those who had come before him. Evers promised a change, but said he'd need help to make it happen. He called out what he thought was wrong with Wisconsin politics.
We've become paralyzed by polarity, and we become content with division. We become indifferent to resentment and governing by retribution.
Evers has already begun signing executive orders. This afternoon, he signed one calling for state agencies to implement anti-discrimination policies and create standard terms for state contracts. Another calling to recognize and respect state employees. And after this historic day, Wisconsin's new governor celebrated tonight.
He's joined by more than 3,000 supporters at the Monona Terrace for the inaugural gala. And that's where Keely Arthur joins us live tonight. Hi, Keely.
Hi there. Big hopes here for the new governor of Wisconsin. Countless people from local leaders to businessmen, teachers, even teenagers, all under the Monona Terrace roof for one reason.
I'm from Rothschild, Wisconsin. I'm a big supporter of Tony Evers and just so happy to see the change tonight.
And today we're just here to celebrate a new era of leadership, a new vision that we have in Governor Tony Evers and Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes.
Tonight is a great night for the state of Wisconsin because we are celebrating a new governor and a new hope.
And with this excitement comes hope for real change in Wisconsin in so many different ways.
Health care, union rights, more than anything, our education.
We need to invest in education, especially in the UW system, in healthcare, and economic development.
It's funding our public schools, focusing on mental health issues in the inner city of Milwaukee and across the state of Wisconsin are some of my main focuses.
No matter the platform or issue, here tonight in Tony, they trust.
I think we're going to be much more of a united state, people working together more than the polarized last 8 years we've had.
And before the band started to jam out here, Governor Evers did speak, admitting that all the things that he promised in his campaign are going to be challenging to accomplish, but he is going to stay the course, getting big cheers from the people here in this room tonight. Back to you.
Keely Arthur reporting live tonight from Monona Terrace. Keely, thank you. Calls for bipartisanship have been a common theme today, but the question is, will compromise be possible? Democratic lawmakers say feelings linger from the lame duck session, but they hope to put that aside, while Republican Speaker Robin Vos is emphasizing that lawmakers make up the most important branch of government, not the governor.
There are some who will want us to take a back seat and allow the new governor to drive the car alone, but that isn't going to happen.
Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says he's warning other Republicans about introducing bills that Governor Evers will likely oppose. Senate Minority Leader Jennifer Schilling told the Senate she wants to focus not on divide and conquer tactics, but on the issues Governor Evers campaigned on.
Scott Walker left a letter for Governor Evers, one he says includes some of the best advice he has gotten from past governors. And today, News 3 also caught up with former Governor Jim Doyle, who said he had spoken to Tony Evers about some of the new life he'll be taking on.
Well, it's a lot, particularly when you go from, I was much like Tony Evers. I had been Attorney General, and I was proud of that. But the day you go from governor to governor, and now you move into the big house, you've got security around you, your life completely changes.
And be sure to stay with News 3 as we enter the first few days and weeks of the Evers administration, both on air on Channel 3 and online at channel3000.com.
Let's turn to weather now. Whatever snow was out there is just about gone thanks to 2 days of rain and near record highs today. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is in the backyard patio with our first alert forecast. Gary?
Well, Charlotte, I was looking around. I think I see one little tiny little pile of snow back there in the backyard. It's just about all gone here. And while temperatures will turn colder, we might add a little snow tomorrow, just some very minor accumulations from the activity that's moving through western Minnesota. I think any snowfall accumulations will be light, and temperatures will warm back up again as we head into next week. Now, there are wind advisories to our south and to our west for winds that could gust the 40 to 50 mile per hour range across the southwestern half of Minnesota, almost all of Iowa, and the northern half of Illinois. Look at the high temperatures today. Here in Madison, 48 degrees. That was only 2 degrees shy of the record high of 50 set back in 2008. Milwaukee hit 52. Janesville was at 50. Elsewhere, temperatures generally were in the mid to upper 40s. Current temperatures have fallen into the upper 30s, and these temperatures will stay nearly steady overnight as we're waiting for a second cold front to arrive later on tonight or early tomorrow morning that will really start the temperature drop. Visibilities right now starting to drop a little bit in the western portion of our viewing area. There might be some patchy areas of fog for a time until those winds pick up. You can see the winds generally lightening up here, but they will pick up in speed for tomorrow. In fact, by tomorrow morning, temperatures will start out in the middle 30s and drop to the lower 30s. Precipitation will start out as a mixture of rain and snow and change over to some light snow. There could be some minor accumulations up to an inch, but look for colder weather for Wednesday and then a warm up after that. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. And we are learning more about the shooting at WTS Paradigm in September.
The 2 Middleton police officers and 2 Dane County Sheriff's deputies who shot and killed the gunman will not face criminal charges. There's also body cam video released today giving us a new perspective on how the dramatic situation in Middleton unfolded. News 3's Madeline O'Neill joins us now with more. Madeline?
Charlotte and Eric, Dane County District Attorney Ishmael Ozan says the shooter, Anthony Tong, gave law enforcement no other option but to shoot. The newly released video from the Department of Justice shows how officers and deputies handled dealing with an active shooter. Now, we warn you, some of this video could be disturbing to some viewers. Body camera footage takes you along with law enforcement officers as they walk into the unknown.
Drop that gun!
It puts you in the shoes of officers and deputies as they search for a shooter.
You're okay. He's still alive. He's still up. Okay. He's sitting up shooting.
Not immediately knowing where the shots are coming from.
I can't see him. I can't see him anymore.
Or what might happen next.
Moving up with a shield now. Hey, where is he? He's right behind this plant here. He's laying down right behind this blue couch. Blue. He's right here. He's right here.
So they relied on their training.
Cops right there. All right, follow me. So I think it's safer to move up this way.
With a shield, yes.
Both sides move up together.
It is for this reason that for years we have trained our police officers and our deputy sheriffs to work collaboratively and cooperatively in the same methods and same procedures.
Dane County District Attorney Ishmael Ozan says when the shooter, now identified as Anthony Tong, didn't respond to verbal commands, he gave officers no option but to shoot back.
Yeah.
Middleton, Wisconsin, narrowly missed becoming yet another of America's mass killings.
We need an arrest. Need an arrest team.
Ozan says it's because of the officers shown in this video.
A lot of gunshots went this way. We should look for victims.
That everyone but the active shooter was able to leave the building with their lives.
The responsibility rests with each of us to not allow it to occur again.
Finish clearing. Yep. Let's make sure this is safe now.
Now, Tong died from one shot to the chest, but there's no way to know which officer took that shot. All 4 officers who shot at Tong are now reinstated after being on paid administrative leave.
Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Maddie, thank you. Investigators say Tong had a history of mental illness and he was not legally able to own a gun. During a search of his home on Madison's far west side, investigators say they found all of the tools he used to build one. They say he was legally able to buy individual parts and put them together.
Visions nightclub says it would consider moving locations as it prepares a libel and slander lawsuit against Madison Alder David Ahrens. Ahrens created a petition to revoke the club's liquor license after his shooting at the club last month. The owner of Visions says the business has never had a prostitution or drug arrest, despite the Alder's claims. He's proposing a less drastic solution, while Alder Ahrens held that the license should be revoked.
I've tried to relocate, and that's the answer here, is the city to relocate me. I would be, listening to that. But up until then, Visions will stay here. Will be a nice little nightclub.
This has been the city's view for some time, that this is a place that is regularly in violation of the liquor license standards.
The city has 120 days to respond to the nightclub's notice of claim from when it was first filed.
A young boy has died after falling through the ice on a western Wisconsin lake. 9-year-old Jaden Stallsberg and 2 other boys, who are all from Sparta, fell through the ice on Perch Lake yesterday afternoon. One boy was able to get to shore on his own. Rescuers were able to save one, but were not able to get to Jaden in time. The local police department says with the recent warm weather we've had, this serves as a devastating reminder to be careful if you are going out on the ice. A beacon on the South Pier of Manitowoc was toppled by strong waves on Lake Michigan earlier today. You can see the navigational system here in this first picture, and then the wave hits that knocks the tower off of its cement foundation and right into Lake Michigan. Officials say something like this doesn't happen often, but with the right set of circumstances, anything is possible.
It's pretty nasty on the lake, just with the right swell and the wind direction and the duration that it's been building since last night. The waves got very large and the direction was directly into the break wall. So it's not a common occurrence, but in the end, Mother Nature sometimes wins.
Officials say they will have to wait until conditions improve on the lake to fully assess the damage. Still ahead tonight, the partial government shutdown is now one of the longest on record with no end in sight.
How President Trump is now planning to ramp up his pitch for a border wall. That's when we come back. An East Madison library opening the doors on its temporary location while a new facility is being built. Penny Library closed at the end of November in preparation to move its new 20,000 square foot building. And while the new library is being built, Penny's books and resources have moved across the street to the former Ace Hardware building.
We recognize that the library is just an incredibly important place for people throughout the community. People use this as a gathering place, a place to get access to books and DVDs, materials.
Despite some delays, the new library is expected to open in 2020. President Trump taking steps to force an end to the partial government shutdown, now in its third week.
Tomorrow, he will address the nation from the Oval Office about the need for a border wall in a primetime speech. It's his first since taking office. Then on Thursday, the president plans to visit the U.S.-Mexico border, where he is demanding $5.7 billion to build 234 miles of wall. Over the weekend, the White House asked for another $7 billion for more immigration judges, border agents, medical supplies, and detention facilities. The White House today said tax refunds will go out on time during this shutdown. The IRS may recall some furloughed workers. The standoff is also now affecting travelers. Wait times are up at many airports as some screeners call out sick rather than work without pay. Air traffic controllers are also working without being compensated.
The Judge Doyle Square project in Madison has been on hold since November. Mayor Paul Soglin talked today about a proposal to get it started again. The project paused after the Common Council voted against a $600,000 payment to Beitler Real Estate. Under Mayor Soglin's proposal, the city would pay Beitler $700,000 for them to release development rights on half of that project, but the developer would keep the rights to the other half.
We have got a proposed agreement here which will get us a hotel. It will mean that some critical members of the city council will hopefully have what they want.
Mayor Soglin says the project is still on schedule.
At this time of year, we are supposed to have an average of 20 inches of snowfall totals. Well, right now, we are at less than 10 inches. The iced over lakes that once were are now almost entirely melted. The record high for this day is 50 degrees, which was set back in 2008. But on that day, we had 3 EF3 tornadoes in northern Illinois and far southeastern Wisconsin in the middle of our snowiest winter, which just goes to show how quickly the weather can change.
And we turn now to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a complete look at our forecast, hoping to dry out after today at some point, Gary.
Yeah, today we set a record, not a record high temperature, but a record for the amount of rain here in Madison. A little over an inch of rain. That was a record for the day. High temperature of 48, just 2 degrees from that record high of 50. 52 is the high in Milwaukee. To the south, it was as warm as 58 in the LaSalle, Peru area in north central Illinois, 57 in Moline. Even in the northern parts of the state where they had some snow, temperatures at least made it into the middle 30s. The snow depth, well, you can see it's really starting to erode away south of Madison, even west central parts of the state seeing the snow go away. A lot of this snow is new snow in far northern Wisconsin, about the northern quarter of the state, about 4 to 6 inches of snow there, and then heavier amounts north of Rhinelander through Eagle River and up toward Marquette, Michigan. That was from this last storm. Tomorrow, winds will be strong. There are wind advisories for southwestern Minnesota, all of Iowa, and northern Illinois. This is for winds that could gust to 40 to 50 miles per hour. But on Doppler track, things are pretty quiet right now. The rain from this morning has shifted off to the east. The next weather system bringing some rain and snow showers into western Minnesota. Those will reach us by morning and probably change over to light snow at some point with maybe some minor accumulations. But the trend is not good if you're looking for more snow, because while temperatures will cool off over the next couple of days, that 38-degree high for tomorrow will be early in the day with falling temperatures, and then 22 for a high temperature on Wednesday. We're back up to average on Thursday with a high of 26, and then temperatures back above average as we head into the weekend. Some light snow chances Friday and Saturday could bring some minor accumulations, and then temperatures by Tuesday of next week could be up around 40. Take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from January 15th through the 21st. Above normal temperatures across almost the entire country, with the highest probabilities from the Midwest through the plains and then into parts of the northwestern part of the country. Highest probabilities for above normal precipitation along the Gulf Coast and in California. This is a very typical El Nino weather pattern, again, with the best chances for heavier precipitation staying in the southern part of the U.S. Here we just have a slight increase in chances for above normal precipitation. Some of that will be in the form of rain. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. pretty quiet right now. Not seeing any fog, not seeing any rain. High, as I mentioned, 48, the low of 36, 10 degrees above the average high of 26. And right now we're at 38. Skies are cloudy, the air is calm, humidity at 86%. There could be some patchy areas of fog. So while temperatures are in the 30s across much of Wisconsin, they are above freezing. Winds right now generally lightening up a bit for the western part of the state, and then they start to pick up again farther to the west. And in between, that's where some fog is forming, and we could see at least a little bit overnight. So our forecast for the overnight hours calls for a low of 36 with some areas of fog. Rain showers developing toward morning, and those will quickly change over to light snow or flurries. High of 38, and then falling temperatures. There could be some minor snow accumulations there, but less than an inch. On future track, you can see that batch of precipitation coming in, some rain and snow showers early, changing to snow, and then those clear out. Temperatures will fall through the day. Tomorrow night, the skies clear out. Temperatures will drop into the middle teens. And Wednesday, look for a windy and cold day with highs only in the upper teens to the lower to the middle 20s. And snowfall amounts, like I say, less than an inch in most areas, and that'll be mainly during the morning hours tomorrow. 7 to 10 day forecast. Those temperatures, like I say, after the cold day on Wednesday, start heading right back up. Some chances for snow Friday afternoon into Saturday. That may be bringing some light accumulations. Another system, some rain and snow showers toward the end of next week, but in between, those temperatures stay above normal through pretty much all of next week as well. Same continuation of the pattern we've got.
All right, Gary, thank you.
Thank you, Gary. The Packers have their man. It's a very young man, too. We'll have that story coming up in sports.
Packers have agreed to terms with the new head coach, and it looks like they're hoping he's the next Sean McVay. Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur is only 39 years old, but he's considered to be a rising star. He's agreed to be the Packers' next head coach. LaFleur is a product of the Mike Shanahan coaching tree, the one that produced the Rams' Sean McVay. LaFleur has been with Houston, Washington, Atlanta, the Rams, and the Titans. LaFleur has worked with quarterbacks Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and Matt Ryan. Matt LaFleur will be the youngest head coach in Green Bay Packers history. The Badger women's basketball team is off to its best start in 9 seasons, 10-5, heading into tonight's Big Ten game at 19th-ranked Iowa. Megan Gustafson is the leading scorer in Wisconsin girls high school basketball history, and now she plays for Iowa, and she's the leading college scorer in the country. Tonight she doesn't go nuts against the Badgers, 21 points, 12 rebounds, but it's enough. Final score, Iowa 71, Wisconsin 53. NBA, the Bucks wrap up their 6-game homestand against the Utah Jazz tonight at Fiserv Forum. Giannis had 30 points and 10 rebounds, and Malcolm Brogdon another good night. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. The Bucks go 5-1 in the homestand. Final score, Bucks 114, Jazz 102. Our next Prep Mania game of the week is Thursday night. We're in the Badgers South Conference for boys basketball, Stoughton at Monona Grove. It's live Thursday night at 7:15 on channel3000.com. Girls basketball tonight, #1 ranked Beaver Dam plays a big Badger North Conference game at 1-loss Reedsburg. It's the Golden Beavers against the Beavers. In the first, Allie Van Loo goes inside to Maddie Wilkie. Nice lefty bucket. Beaver Dam up big. Reedsburg, though, hangs in there. Julia Korkleski with a corner 3, but Reedsburg still down double digits because Beaver Dam is dominant tonight. Tara Stoffaker, the Badger recruit, with a 3 for the Green. 5 players in double figures. Final score, Beaver Dam 74, Reedsburg 36. The College Football National Championship game is in the 4th quarter in Santa Clara, California. Clemson is leading Alabama 44-16. Clemson is trying to knock off Alabama for the second time in 3 years. Joe Thomas has been elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. He played at Wisconsin from 2003 to 2006, was a unanimous All-American in 2006. He was the first Wisconsin Badger to win the Outland Trophy Award as the top lineman in the country. Joe Thomas is the 11th Wisconsin Badger player to be selected for the College Football Hall of Fame. Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins leaving school to enter the NFL draft. Haskins threw 50 touchdown passes this season. He was the Big Ten's Offensive Player of the Year. Haskins expected to be a high first-round pick and probably the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft. This may not make Bears fans feel any better, but the NFL has ruled that Cody Parkey's final field goal attempt yesterday has been ruled a blocked kick. Today, the NFL says the Eagles' Trayvon Hester got a finger on the ball, though you can hardly tell. Anyway, you know the rest. Ball hit the upright, then the crossbar, and the Bears' season came to an end. By the way, at the start of the season, the Bears gave Parkey a 4-year, $15 million contract. If they cut him, they owe him $5.2 million. If they keep Parkey, he'll get $4.2 million next season. And we'll be right back.
They won 12, and it ends like this.
Temperatures right now still above freezing. There are some areas of fog forming out west. Could see those overnight, but look for temperatures to drop from a morning high of 38. Rain will change to some snow with maybe some minor accumulations. Some light snow Friday and Saturday after a cold middle part of the week, and a warm up for next week.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Now.